Good morning, good evening. How are you doing today? What a beautiful day it is today. It's Friday for me, but it will be Saturday for you guys tomorrow. So if you can tell from the title of the video, B's motive today is a story time slash mukbang. Wow, this girl is really expanding her horizons. First it was a while ago. She did a story time before, like, I'm doing it. I'm trying to do it. So my mukbang is going to be a seafood boil mukbang. If you are in the 757 area, there is the seafood, and they make poke or poke bowls or poke bowls called Mr. Boil. And that's what I have today. And I have and shrimp and crab legs, and it is lemon pepper seasoning. Now I have, sorry environment, but I have this, and because I to be honest, I'm too lazy to wash any more dishes tonight. But they give you gloves that come rolled up like this, but and a bib. But I like to use my own gloves because they like a little bit more sturdy. And whoever, usually this thing is not rolled up. They trying to be funny, not rolled up this tight. But so yeah, these are the gloves they give you, and they rip like really easily. But this is the place. What does it say? Taste the sea. But Mr. Boyle, I think it's really good. It's really good to me. And I'll show you a picture of my plate when I take everything out. But these are my own gloves that I'm going to use. But yeah, so the story time today is the time I was a Walt Disney World intern. Mr. Mouse, Mickey Mouse, he just got off the tractor and said he wanted to sit in and hear my story so we can reminisce. Yeah, I just touched my gloves, my hair with my gloves, but I'm the only person eating this. All right, so can she do two things at one time? That's the question. All right, so let me get it out. 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 All right, because once I learn how to edit, I got y'all. I promise. But this is a piece of a crab leg, potato, a corn, a shrimp. Making a mess. And some sausage. I'm just gonna eat a little bit with y'all. Y'all ain't gotta. I'm gonna try not to smack and pop too much. Okay, so the time I was a Disney intern. Well, my senior year of college flew by. First of all, I'm gonna link it in the cards above. My school days video where I stressed, like, do your research and make sure you're looking into things while you're in school and all of that. It's because it could be obvious to other people, but like, you're not gonna be in school all your life. Like, you really need to figure out, like, what are you gonna do. The only thing that I knew was, okay, I'm gonna be a businesswoman, so I'm either gonna start my own business or run somebody else's business. That's like the only thing that I knew. So comes my senior year, I don't have any prospects. I don't know, like, we about to let our lease, we about to not renew our lease, me and You're Beautiful. I I don't know what to do. So one day on campus, I see like these little signs stuck in the ground for a Walt Disney World like presentation. And I'm like, what is this about? So I go. I don't have class, I'm not working. I go try to see what's going on. And it's like a presentation where they're telling you, you know, yeah, if you're a Disney intern, you know, it's very positively looked upon on your resume. Like, you'll get all of these different perks and this and that. And I'm like, okay. Then they're telling me about telling everyone about like the housing situation and, you know, transportation and all of this. And I'm like, then you have the opportunity to get a professional internship and all of this stuff. So I'm like, wow, okay, cool. So at the end of the presentation, they give you, it was like this yellow paper that had like a code on it that said, pretty much just said that you sat through the presentation, and you go and you fill out, it's like a survey slash test kind of thing online, where they asking you like different questions, kind of questions like, you know, if you apply for a job and like, well, how do you handle irate situations, and if this happened to you. It was questions kind of like that, if I'm remembering correctly. This was like 10 years ago, guys, so I'm trying to draw from my memory, but I think it was something like that. And at the end of it, I think you find out instantly. It took maybe like 30 minutes to an hour, something like that. And you find out instantly, or the next, I want to say I found out instantly, like whether or not you are able to do it. And at the end, it's like, okay, congratulations. Da, 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 da. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to Walt Disney World. I was so hyped because I'm like, okay, well, I have something now. Because before, I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And so I'm like, look through job postings so you can like curate your college career for the job that you want, and you already have that experience and the criteria that they're asking for. So I still was applying to jobs. I'm like, now I have something going on. So I didn't find anything. You're Beautiful and we did not renew our lease. I moved back home with my parents for like maybe a week or two, or it was like a couple of weeks or something like that. I walked. I didn't fully graduate. Technically, my graduation wasn't until the fall, because there was one class that I took over the summer, but I walked in May. So walking means you're in the graduation, but like your name does not appear on it. They'll say your name during graduation, but it doesn't appear in like the program and stuff like that, which is, it kind of, you know, sucks a little bit. So time comes, like this is my first time on my own. Like when I went to college, it was 4 of us, including myself, from my graduating class that went to the same college. And then of course, like, we knew family, friends and stuff like that from the area, but this was like my first time on my own, my first time. So I've been on a plane before. I get on the plane, touch down in Florida, my first time in Florida. Like I knew I liked Disney. Like I love like princess movies and like all of that stuff, like cartoons. I love cartoons first and foremost. But I didn't really know a lot about Disney World. I found out when I got there that it's actually 4 different parks. When people say Disney World, you really thinking about Magic Kingdom. That's like where the castle is. But there's Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios, and Animal Kingdom. It's 4 different parks, but it's one thing, if that makes any sense. Like, you have to get a ticket to each separate thing. So we get there. I get off the plane. There's like a shuttle bus, and because like I'm a intern, like you get some kind of discount that you pay $20 for them to take you to like the location, and versus paying like 60 or something like that. So we go to the location. We have to like pick out how many roommates and stuff like that you want. It's everything is just like boom, 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 boom. So I said I only wanted 1 roommate. But of course, like the more roommates you have, the less money it. Okay, first of all, let me just say this. First of all, Orlando is a tourist city, so it's expensive to live there. So for the cast members, which are the employees, the intern cast members, the deal is when you're working, they'll take out like up to $100 out of your check, and that a week, and that covers your rent and your utilities, your food and everything else. Like, that's on you, which is pretty good, paying $400 a month for, you know, living. So I said I only wanted 1 roommate. Then I don't remember, I feel like when I took the little test thing that I was talking about earlier, they asked like what kind of work or what kind of experience I had or something like that, and I ended up like working in retail. Now when I went to Walt Disney World, or when I was doing my internship, it was called Downtown Disney. Now it's called Disney Springs. But my first job was working in the World of Disney, which is this huge it's a huge Disney store, and it's kind of like a mini mall, kind of like, but it's like 12 different themed rooms, and you'll get assigned to a room like at whenever they feel like assigning you to a room. So you work the whole big store. Like, there's a princess room, I want to say pirates, there's like the middle part is like keychains and like autograph books and stuff like that. It's really cool. But that was my first job. I worked in merchandise, and it's pretty much like a regular job, but they call it interning. But it's like a cool gig. Like, you get unlimited visits to the park. There are some blackout dates. Like, they do some like cast reveals. You can see behind the scenes stuff, and I mean, I think it was like a really cool experience. My roommate and I, we weren't really like, you know, close. But I extended my program, and I ended up working in the resorts, and I worked at the vacation resorts called Old Key West and Saratoga Springs. And it's 2 different resorts, but you, like, whenever they want to schedule you, you bounce between the 2 resorts. But I liked working in the resorts more than I liked working in retail. But it was a good experience. They had like a lot of different events. If I can, one day when I figure out how to edit, I just found some of the pictures from when I was on the program and when I graduated. Oh man, I have mouse ears. They give you mouse ears with like a tassel for like completing the program. But I would say, if they still have it, if you're thinking about doing it, do it. They also have, it's like a professional internship where you like, you're still working, but it's like manager status. And I feel like I talked myself out of getting a professional internship, because I had an interview for one, and they wanted me to, I felt like they wanted me to still be in retail, and I was like, nah, I'm trying to get out of this. But in the interview was like, well, you sure? Because I'm like, nah, I'm sure. And now that I think about hindsight, I'm like, they was pretty much telling me I had that job. Which was, of course, it would have been more money and then like a better apartment. But the apartment was straight. Like, it was straight. They had like it wasn't Disney, but it was, I don't know who it was, like a charter bus that would come, and you could pay to get on the charter bus, and they take you to downtown Orlando, and there's like a certain time you got to be back at the bus, but you know, you can go to, you know, whatever establishments you want to go to. But for Disney members, Disney cast member interns, the transportation was, it was like a city bus, but it was only for interns, and which I found comforting because I don't know, I haven't taken like the city bus, so I'm like, you gotta get off here and then get off, then you gotta pick it. I'm like, oh Lord, I don't want to get lost. But no, like, it's specifically for Disney interns, so that was kind of cool. But yeah, a job, you get transportation, they'll have like little events and stuff like that. There were 3 different apartment complexes that I don't know if other people stay there too, but for sure I want to say it's just Disney cast members, Disney intern cast members. But I know they had like 3 complexes that they work with, or that they partner with. But all in all, it was a good experience that I had. I actually went back and I worked there for a year or so at the Animal Kingdom Lodge, which was dope. I could be checking people in and I could just see a giraffe walking past the window. Like, that was dope. Those ones, it was 2 resorts. It was Jambo House and Kidani Village. But yeah, I had a good experience. Really no tea to tell, for real. I mean, for the most part, it was people that are just graduated from college or still in college, so kind of like my age range. It was cool. If you're thinking about doing it, do it. I don't know how it is now. I'm sure it's like different. Oh, they also offered like classes. I think I took like a guest service class. Some of them I took the free ones, and then there's some of them that you have to pay for. The guest service one I took, I remember we had like a field trip, and they took us to like one of the resorts, and we walked into the rooms that I've been in anyway, like, are really, really, really nice. But that's all I have to say. I don't want to talk y'all head off, and I think my battery is about to say bye-bye. But I hope you enjoyed this mukbang. I only ate like a couple of pieces. I'll do better next time eating in front of you guys. But have a good day, have a good evening, have a good night. Bye-bye. Oh, like, comment, subscribe. It's free.